Yeah, this is the Round Circle, another episode with the fifth general, Zaccheus and Cinemascapes. What up?
It
What
was
up?
good.
All right. So since our last episode, the Toronto Raptors have won the NBA championship. A lot of stuff happened.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff happened in that game 6. Good Lord. But
Yeah.
but
Yo, they talking about they should make a 30 for 30 for that. Just for that one
just
game.
for that. Jesus, there was so much going on. And most of that is against the opposing team.
Mhm.
Yeah,
most of that drama,
big celebration, man.
right?
Yeah.
Most of that drama is on the Warrior side.
Mhm.
Okay, and then also since we've been going, there's been a major blockbuster trade in the NBA. Anthony Davis is now going to the LA Lakers. He's going to join LeBron. The Lakers have one more spot for a max player.
Wow.
We don't know who that is, but all signs are pointing to them targeting a point guard. So that'd be either Kyrie Irving or Kemba Walker. So we shall see. So they gave up a lot, and it's just like Thanos said in Infinity War. And what did it cost? Everything. So, they gave up 4 draft picks and
3 players.
and Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and Josh Hart. Jesus Christ.
And LeVar Ball went on a fit.
Exactly.
He did.
Although he got on First Take, ESPN's First Take, and said that the Lakers did what he wanted them to do. He just had to speak against it, and then that would make that trade. So it's like a Jedi mind trick. I don't know. That's how he get down.
Wow.
Whatever, son.
but
Whatever.
but before we get into that, Zaccheus, you go ahead and go into the first story, man. You go ahead.
Yeah, lately, it said it went viral, but believe it or not, this situation happened since May, and it is now being exposed.
Yeah.
Because the media did not put the story out where the woman was in Phoenix, Arizona. The woman was pregnant, had a child in her hand, like a 3-year-old child, 4-year-old child, little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And they went into a 99-cent store. And I know little kids like to touch.
Yeah.
So the little girl, she picked up like a little doll from the aisle, one of the aisles. You know, she walking around.
Yeah.
And the owner of the store, one of the people that work, the clerks in the store said, they called the police. All because the little girl picked up a doll and was walking out the little store with the doll when her mother. So when the police came, when the cop came, he threatened to shoot her and threatened to say, "Stop where you're at."
Shoot who? The daughter or the mother?
The mother.
Okay.
Said, listen,
okay.
if you don't stop right now, hands up. Put your hands up. Yeah, put your hands up. No,
right.
She's screaming at the officer saying, I have a baby in my hand. How can I put my hands up and have a baby in my hand?
Right.
And the little girl is terrified, the 4-year-old little girl.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a situation, if you see the footage on YouTube, it's everywhere now. But it's just so crazy that the media didn't put it out at all. That this story came from social media. Somebody recorded it on their phone, and they put it out. And social media have been circulating. This story been circulating around social media for a while. Now this is a black woman. She has a fiance. The fiance wants to sue Phoenix for what she went through, the torment and the aggravation that this woman went through with the cops screaming and yelling at her to put her hands up. Now, it doesn't go to say that they have no respect for us, because in any sense, if that was a little girl of a lighter, if that was another little girl, they would have said, "Oh, excuse me, ma'am, can you please tell the little girl if you're gonna buy the item, but can you please tell the little girl to put that doll down? If she's gonna buy it, can buy it, but if not, just put it down." But they had to call the police on a 4-year-old girl. It's kids like to touch things, kids like to pick things up, and sometimes when you walk into the store, you don't catch it right away.
Hey,
It's happened to me.
Do you know the name of the
times.
Do you know the name of the store?
All I found out is a 99-cent store in Phoenix, and that's as far as it went.
There's footage, there's surveillance footage, mad footage of this on the internet.
Is it a popular 99-cent store? Like you have Family Dollar, you have Dollar Tree, you have Dollar General. Those are the popular ones. So is it one of those?
It's got to be one of those. Yes.
I'll get to that. I'll have to fact find that one. But whatever store that is, boycott that freaking thing. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. That's why I was trying to get the name, because I was about to issue a boycott. Yeah. So whatever that is, dead that. I don't even like 99-cent stores, man. Let me get into that real quick. Let's talk about the 99-cent store concept. The 99-cent store concept is basically telling people in that neighborhood you don't deserve a supermarket. You don't deserve that. But we'll give you this. 99-cent stores never grow a community. Never. Right. Okay? I don't care how many people who shop at them. And this is not about going at the people who shop at them. I just want to make it clear to the people who do shop at them that the reason why a 99-cent store is even there is to basically tell that community you don't deserve that. Now, there are situations where there's a 99-cent store next to a Walmart. That's different because the supermarket's already there. But I'm talking about in situations where the community is, poverty-stricken.
It's a Family Dollar.
It's a Family Dollar?
Yep. Yeah. Location did not want to press the shoplifting charge because the item had been removed. Police said adding to the aim is tossed the underwear out of the vehicle he was driving. Others, a lot of crap was going on. Suspended licenses, whatever.
It's a Family Dollar. I'm going to say this real quick and I'm going to hand it to you, Cinema. Thanks for confirming that. Here's why I'm saying this.
And that's according to NBC News.
NBC News. Okay. That's a valid source. So it's a Family Dollar. I'm gonna take the same attitude and approach I had to that Starbucks that discriminated against those brothers in Philly. And just like I took my stance on boycotting Starbucks. Okay, with this situation with Family Dollar, boycott them, canceled. Family Dollar's canceled.
Yes, Family Dollar. Yeah, Call them. They have no respect. They have no respect.
They're canceled. Because nobody didn't. I get what you're saying. It wasn't somebody outright stealing. It was a situation where the little girl had it in her hand or whatever. Okay. But it's what happens when they call. But
they claimed somebody else that the guy took a pair of underwear.
Hold on. So the police.
Another report. Yeah.
Okay, finish that. Go ahead.
Another report said the parents told police they were unaware their daughter had taken a doll and she must have done it unintentionally. Officers claim Ames took a pair of underwear and that the woman with the couple, another woman who was with them, I'm not going to say her name, had an item in her possession but dropped it as the police arrived.
So
they also claim,
Yeah.
And so it's still sketchy.
So let me make sure I understand this before I commit to this issuing a boycott against Family Dollar. It was a representative who works for Family Dollar who called, or was it a shopper who called? Who called the police?
It's not even clear.
But from what I read, it was the person that worked behind the register that called the police.
Okay, so it was a Family Dollar worker, employee who called the police.
Mm-hmm.
And then to the point where they came with force? I mean, well, they came with guns drawn.
Guns drawn. The police came with a gun drawn with force, screaming at her, saying, "Put your hands up. Do not make a move."
Okay. Yeah, at an apartment complex, not even at the store.
Whoa, hold on.
The couple drove the girls to their babysitter at an apartment complex nearby, where they were stopped and confronted by police in the parking lot.
Okay, something's wrong.
Right. It wasn't, it didn't, it's not, they're still gathering facts. And the incident with, when they were confronted did not take place near the store, according to this report.
Yeah, it happened on May 27th. Exactly.
Okay. All right. Let me gather. We probably got to get some more about that, because something's wrong here.
Right. There's a lot of inconsistencies.
There is. There's some. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of inconsistencies here to lead to the point where they followed them.
But the whole thing is, you got the footage, you got the thing.
Right.
You have what the police are saying. You have what they're saying. You have the lawsuit. You have Jay-Z getting them a lawyer, and that's all that's going on right now. And you know how this is.
But this all started from a phone call, a 911 call from an employee in Family Dollar. So it started in Family Dollar.
And
then it ended in the apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
That is okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, Cinema, I'm gonna just hand it to you. What's your take on
this? Well, if nobody's armed, it's just like the kid who had guns on him who wasn't armed just recently. The whole fact is, you got people with guns pointed at them. If you stole something, you don't necessarily have a gun.
Thank you. Because it wasn't robbery.
I'll speak on that. Even if it was a robbery, if it's not an armed robbery,
right?
And then the officers use it, been seen on the video. When I effing tell you something, you do it. Also, there's one story that claims that, with the baby in the arm, that the little baby, not the 4-year-old, but a smaller baby's arm got hurt because of what the officer did.
What did he do? Did he tackle him?
No, he was pulling on her and pulling on the baby.
Oh, no.
And she was trying to take they're trying to drop the kids off at the babysitter at this point, and the police car just pulls up on them. They don't know what's going on, and guns drawn. And, the mayor apologized, the chief of police apologized, and they're like, we don't want an apology, And then the couple says no one's really personally contacted them with an apology. They haven't even been spoken to. There's just so much to unravel that's been going on. So for the last few days, there's just been a lot of things going on with this. So, the amount of force that they use for the crime, Dylan, we got a lot of people who murdered people who didn't get this response.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
With guns pulled with little children.
Imagine that.
Well, I mean, it's a reoccurring situation.
Right. This isn't the first isolated event.
Right.
Remember the time the cop pulled, shot into the car, killed the child?
Oh, okay. You talking about that one? I was gonna say also the Philando Castile situation where you got the girl in the back and he's still shooting.
You can put a bunch of them in a hat and just pull anyone.
There's so many.
Yeah. Right. And especially Phoenix in their history with a lot of things.
Yeah, that whole state of Arizona got a lot of racial history.
Wasn't it a state that it was the last state to vote Dr. King's holiday?
Yeah. They fought it to. Well, yeah, they were also the last state to vote to accept. Well, they kind of half accept or deal with affirmative action. That's another history Arizona is part of.
There's a lot. So
yeah,
when you're dealing with Phoenix and you're dealing with the state of Arizona, there's a lot there to unpack in addition to this. So also, they were the first ones to get tough on immigrants before, when,
facts.
Before this, even before this administration took office.
Facts.
I'll say that.
Yeah. No, that's facts too.
And so, yeah, there's just a lot to unpack when you're dealing with this. So it's like I'm only talking about the situation as far as I know. I just don't approve of the use of force. It was for the crime. Basically, they've taken people who've mass murdered peacefully.
You got that right.
And you're gonna come,
You got that right.
Because everyone wants to say, "Oh, you pulled the race card," but yeah, what does the evidence show about that? Especially in our country.
It's exactly. I find it funny how people talk about pulling a race card when white supremacy is the race game. You know what I'm saying? So they can talk about the card. The race card doesn't have any power. It never has.
Right.
If the race card, when they say race card, they're talking about black people. There's no such thing as a black card. Because if that was the case, she could have pulled. If that was the case, Bill Cosby could have used his black card, and he wouldn't be in jail no more. See, there's no privilege. There's no such thing as a black card.
Exactly.
But like I said, they want to talk about the race card, but white supremacy invented the race game.
Exactly.
All right, let's move on because we got more to get into. The next one, Zaccheus? You wanted to talk about the recent things that's been going on in the Dominican Republic. Let me name a very notable name. Now, we was talking about Big Papi, a.k.a. David Ortiz.
Oh, David Ortiz. Okay.
So, here's the thing. I want to say something. David Ortiz, baseball player for the Red Sox, for those who don't know. I said his name like everybody knew. We know on the phone, but not on the phone. We know on the show. But I just want everybody out there, our audience out there. David Ortiz, one of the best baseball players of this modern era. Very famous. He's known for so much community work he's done in that country. So he just so happens to have what we would like to what has been called today as of an assassination attempt.
Wow.
So a couple people was thinking this. Well, if it was they were trying to really be kind of careful about that word because he got shot in the back. In most cases, an assassination attempt will either start or end with a shot to the head, like what happened to our brother Nipsey Hussle. That was assassination. Okay?
Assassination, yeah.
So he's still in the hospital. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
thank God.
The Red Sox flew him back to America.
Right.
Treated.
Right. Thank God. His condition is good. I mean, before it wasn't. There was some vital things going on there. I mean, they were really trying to figure out the bullet actually went through his body and hit somebody else. Actually,
that's weird.
Yeah, it went through and it hit somebody who was in front of him. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was somebody that's from his team, not team like player, but as far as his like his from a manager standpoint of team. That's what I mean, like people who work with him and stuff like that. Supposedly that's what happened. This is somebody who works for him, and they got hit too. So when they found the alleged shooter there, I heard they beat the crap out of him.
Oh, they did.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
So is David Ortiz? Is he in any kind of bad condition at this time?
He's in good condition now. His status is good now.
Yeah, he was.
This is according
stabilized.
This is according to ESPN News. There was an article from today that he's in good condition, but he's still in the hospital, which is good. It's good that they changed it to good condition, because before, it wasn't looking too good. I'm not saying he was near death, but people die from that. So
he had to be stabilized, and Boston sent the plane.
Yep.
Then they brought him back to America to have another surgery, and get what he needed to survive. So he's in the U.S. up in Boston in the hospital now.
Right.
Wow.
Now he's had to go through 2 surgeries. Supposedly the alleged shooter is saying that he was allegedly paid. So this is a hit.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a hit. Yeah, it's a hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I brought that up because we were originally talking about what has been going on with tourism down there. That we've seen stories about couples and individuals going down there at the start of the summer, before the summer, I think around maybe like the springtime.
Yes.
How we've been hearing about, I've seen myself articles in around April. This person died at so-and-so hotel resort. A couple dies at same resort. Another couple dies at same resort. Something's fishy going about that. At the same resort? Zaccheus, you get more into it.
Yeah, what I've read and what I've heard from others is that that when you go, you're at your own risk. I heard that if you take a drink, and like any kind of drink, you gotta be careful. The hotel that you're staying in, but I think it was a particular hotel. I don't want to. I'm not about 100% accurate of the hotel, but I don't want to call the hotel out, but still, you got to be careful traveling to DR because it's this fishy thing going on. Fishy, where when you go into DR and you're not coming back out alive. And what I heard is about 8 people, 8 tourists, 8 vacationers gone, lost their lives.
Did you just say 8?
Yes.
Within the last 2 months?
Yes.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. We're not even throughout the summer yet.
Right. And a couple of couples.
Yeah.
A single woman from Staten Island. A guy from this area, New Jersey area.
Not paying attention to
was the last one, I think.
Yeah. Like you said, they're not paying attention to the news. Either that or they already had their stuff booked. They didn't cancel it because they figured they already done paid.
Right.
Yeah, there's people. One person, the people I know that's booked to go to the Dominican Republic. And I guess
I'm good on that.
Yeah, they don't listen to the news, so they're going. The scary situation, very scary.
Extremely scary situation.
Man. Stay the heck out of the Dominican Republic right now.
Until stuff is sorted.
Exactly.
One of their own is almost assassinated, like a person who's a hero.
Yeah. Yes.
I can't believe.
And so all of it, it's not, and these aren't connected to each other, all of them.
Right.
Some of them
they're all different.
But the whole thing is, it's like if something starts, it's like a neighborhood. If something starts going crazy in a neighborhood and you don't live there and have to be there, you kind of start driving around it and not going through it.
I'm surprised. God had his back. I'm surprised he didn't die.
Right.
David Ortiz. Oh man,
he's a hero there. A lot of people in the bar started helping him, and then some people started chasing the dude because the people love him down there, and it's unfortunate. It's not everybody. It's usually somebody who's just willing and doesn't care. Especially when you're a celebrity, jealousy, a lot of, sometimes, something may have happened, we won't get into that, but it is. And then you're a target, even if you're not there. And, he's at a place where he's frequented and he's been safe. So he was vulnerable.
Man. And see, let me tell you something. Dominican Republic strives on tourism.
Mm-hmm.
They strive on it. So, and they're gonna lose a great deal of tourism if this continues.
A lot of people have canceled.
Yeah, see, already.
If you look in the comments, they're like, I was gonna go, but I'll get a refund. I might have to take a loss, but I'd rather live.
No. Me and my wife, we wasn't going even before this happened. We wasn't going no more. Went one time 2010. We wasn't going nowhere because it's the way how they treat the Haitians, man. It's not. We heard stories. It was not so nice. So
Right.
it's very wicked the way they treat their own black people. So
And then there's there's a lot of places when you go to the tourism portions of those countries, it's not the same as going around in that country.
yeah,
And so when it starts getting so bad that it affects even the tourism areas, that speaks of something.
yeah. Can't even. Oh man.
Right. You can't even
So-
have tourism, something that helps your country out. You're gonna hurt that. That
Yeah, man.
that speaks.
And
That
they
speaks to
strive,
something.
and that's the biggest thing there.
Right. If when your economy is dependent on something, that's like working for a daycare and we hate kids.
Yeah.
You're in the wrong business.
Yeah.
Running a school, yeah, and you don't want to be around kids unless you're running like a professional school for adults.
So
It's what's getting, it's what's providing for you. And, but a lot of people with jobs,
This is crazy.
man.
Yeah.
it's scary. They got the all-inclusive package where it makes it cheaper for people to go, and they lowered the price for cheaper for people to
all
go.
inclusive, including a shot to
All
the back.
inclusive, yeah.
Ain't that crazy? I mean, that's not what I look for when I mean all inclusive, but apparently all inclusive means the crime's inclusive too. Jesus Christ! I don't understand. Hold on. Let me first say my condolences to the loss. I'm not. What I'm saying is that it is a situation where to me that's a warning. Now I don't want to paint a broad stroke over the whole island. Well, half of the island.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that. Y'all know the other side of the island is Haiti. But anyway, but to me that's like a warning. It's like, okay, let's figure this out. Let's put this on hold because a lot of people get married there, spend their honeymoons there, do all types of stuff there, get away. Right. But when you start hearing stuff like that, listen, there was a situation where this has been going on for a couple of years where they told people to chill with going to Cancun at a particular spot because they said the crime was picking up.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I remember.
So go ahead, Cinema.
And let's not forget the woman who survived, who got attacked at a Dominican Republic resort right here from Delaware.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. That was on local news. She got beat up.
Yeah.
She was out on the beach and they said, well, shouldn't have been there. And then, the resort doesn't want to give her nothing. And then, they try. It's been a lot.
Wow.
And so
they've been listening.
You could go to DelawareOnline.com, that story. So that was a local story of that. So we've had local stories here about that before, even before the people were dying.
Jesus.
And so this has been going on for a minute. And something needs, if you want tourism, there's only but so much you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't want to deal with that, you're gonna just have people not going.
Yeah.
It's like certain places, if you're an American, like when they start acting a certain way towards you, you can't go there no more. That's because the mindset's different, and when you start traveling and when they start treating and you start seeing stuff happening to Americans in that country, you need not to go.
Yeah.
Because you might, you people go down there thinking I'm American. You ain't getting out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they hold you for ransom or anything. You're not getting out.
Exactly. You don't.
No.
People go to other countries not aware of what's going on in that country.
Right.
I went on a missions trip, and I was aware of something. There was a case with an American going on, but the people I was with were not aware, and I was walking with caution. And I was always with our host people with safety. And, not like security, but with just people who are there, who are hosting us, who know what's going on. And, other people just walking around not aware, if you're going to another country for any reason, find out what's going on there. Find out if Americans on trial or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I went down to Nicaragua, all that stuff was going on. It was 2008, and I was
in Nicaragua,
and I was doing a missions trip, but I was watching that case, and I was being careful how I spoke to people.
Yeah.
Well,
and you have to be aware when you travel. That's all.
You do. Whether it's in this nation or out of this nation.
Right.
So we're gonna go into our main topics of the day. So, the Toronto Raptors, first NBA team outside of the United States to win a championship. Once upon a time ago, Vancouver had a team called the Grizzlies, but then they moved to Memphis. So now Toronto the Raptors were the only team in Canada. So the whole country of Canada has pulled themselves together and behind this team. So it was like, it ended up being like a USA versus Canada kind of matchup, with Golden State Warriors and right. Mm-hmm. So look, I know the big talk is, well, if KD wasn't hurt, okay. Oh, well, if Clay didn't get hurt in that game, right. But you know what?
Right.
That's not the Raptors' fault. The Raptors did what they were supposed to do, and that is close out the series. Because you had 5 players in double figures. Okay? They all did the dang thing. So their whole thing, and the game was close. They almost lost that game.
Yep.
And you know what?
That shot goes in. That could,
Yep. No. Draymond Green had a Chris Webber situation that Webber had when it was Wolverine, when it was Michigan versus Duke years ago.
Give me a T.O. like Chris Webber.
Yeah,
So by the pound remix, Common.
You know what I'm saying? So
I got skills like Tim, and I'm coming in a harder way. So keep the crossover. Common is a B-boy. Okay, that's enough.
Go on. The way that game ended, you had a turnover for a turnover, and then the timeout, and then a technical.
Exactly.
Those the free throws, after that, it sealed the fate. Like, you knew it was over when that timeout got called and there was no timeouts. You knew it was over.
Oh yeah,
because you get the free throw and you lose possession.
It's over now.
It's over.
And Kawhi. Shout outs to Kawhi. He won.
Kawhi balled out though. This is the playoffs. Kawhi Leonard balled out, and
Kei Lowry.
And I have a feeling like me and my dad were talking about it. We feel like he's so disrespected because he's not hype.
Yeah, like this moment here.
Yeah.
He
got the last laugh.
Because guess what? Because he got the MVP. They got the last laugh because Kawhi Leonard got the MVP.
First player to get the MVP in both conferences. Historical.
Yeah. First player to win in the West and then win in the East in the time frame that he did.
Yeah.
That's because of his championships in San Antonio. So for them to come on the East, within his first year on his team. Let me just say that I'm happy for him because he's another player who was playing hurt. And it's funny because they were trying to figure out why he was walking the way he was walking, and he said, "Well, ain't no need for me to pretend now. The series is over." You know what I'm saying? So
a lot of people playing hurt.
He was playing hurt.
People play hurt through the playoffs. So the whole thing is Golden State did the classy thing, congratulated them in their paper, and it is. Sometimes it's not your year.
Yeah,
it's just the way it is. Now, saying the dynasty's over is a bit premature until this trade happened. Now that the trade happened, now you're dealing with that, but we'll deal with that in a second.
Yeah.
But congrats to Toronto.
Yeah.
Great team effort.
Congrats.
Kyle showed up in Game 6 and set the tone.
He did. Kyle Lowry deserved that championship. He's been with that team since he was drafted.
Right.
Yeah, he deserved it. Yeah.
And he really deserved it. And let me tell you something. If you would have told me that in the beginning of the season that Toronto Raptors were going to win the NBA championship against Warriors, I would have told you was crazy.
Exactly.
Some people, mostly everybody, a lot of NBA fans were saying that Golden State had it. They're always saying it. They're always saying it.
Well,
you know.
Well, because of what has happened prior to this year, so of course we assume they was gonna win, even with Kevin Durant hurt, because that's a super team,
right? And the whole thing was injury after injury. Oh well, it happens.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is, they didn't lie down. They competed. It was good.
Yep.
It wasn't a bad series. It wasn't like Knicks Spurs.
well, you know what? I'm actually glad that this wasn't just a sweep, because remember my prediction was Toronto was going to get swept. I was hoping they didn't get swept.
And I said Warriors in 5, and somebody after the first game, you want to change? I'm like, nah, that's my prediction. It's a prediction. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I wanted Raptors to stop their flow. That's all. I wanted the Raptors to really stop their flow, man.
I gave the Raptors one game.
But
I gave them. I said, you know what? They'll probably. I don't remember what exactly I said going back to the episodes, but I think I said that the Raptors have an opportunity to win Game 1, and they did. So I called that one, but I felt that was the only game they was gonna win. But then they really just
State 1, 2. Then you had a Game 3 without Clay,
right, and
then you don't have Clay back in the shape that Clay was. Even with that,
yes,
something. You know,
right, because he hurt his hamstring. Then he ended up tearing his ACL
right
in Game 6. Jesus Christ! I mean, you know, KD went down, and we talked about this last episode, tearing his Achilles, and then this happened. So you got two star players on your team who can't play at least for a year. Okay, KD's out for a year.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson is out. Right, he's out for half a season up to a year.
Wow.
So next year, the Warriors are going to struggle in their place to getting to the playoffs. Or if they get in, they'll probably be bottom seed. I don't think Draymond and I don't know if DeMarcus Cousins is coming back, but I don't know if Draymond and Steph is enough in the West to bring them back to the top 4 seeds. I don't see that in the West.
Right. And Harrison Barnes opted out of his contract today, if nobody knew.
Wait, so can you imagine if Harrison Barnes came back to the to the Warriors?
Exactly. It's like Eddie. So many people are opting out, and we'll talk about that later on another.
Right.
This summer's gonna be wild. Since KD went down, they thought ain't gonna be no smoke this summer.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA's already gonna look crazy because we don't know where these people are landing. Jimmy Butler looks like he ain't coming back to Philly, and if he don't, they're in trouble. If they don't replace some, because he was the only consistent thing in the playoffs for them.
I could see him trying to go to the Clippers.
I could see Kawhi trying to go to the Clippers.
I don't know. Do you still see Kawhi leaving?
I do. If he wants to go to LA
in the future.
No, Kawhi's not a normal dude.
He's quiet.
Right. He does his contracts and he goes where he wants to go. He wanted to get traded to the Lakers, remember? And Pop said no. He wanted to go to LA. He did like LeBron did. He's built a $13 million house in LA this year. So there's a lot. And even Kyle said whatever he needs to do for his family. He just called Kyle and said, let's do what we need to do this year.
The city of Toronto has offered Kawhi. They said if you re-sign here, you get free meals. They were naming all the places, free meals for life, and they was going to give him a condo, a high-rise penthouse condo, and he wouldn't even have to pay for it.
Wow.
The whole thing is, does he want to? We don't
right.
know.
It's his choice, and we'll never know it him because he's a guy who doesn't telegraph anything.
Right. That's what was so frustrating with them with the Spurs. But he's like, I'm hurt. I don't want to play, and that's all he would say.
Yeah.
I got he's not. He didn't go out against media.
Yeah.
You can't say he did it the wrong way. And with all this free agency looming, we don't know.
Yeah.
And there's a lot. Marc Gasol has a championship. Oh my goodness. Toronto found a star in Van
Vliet and a future star in Siakam.
Yeah.
But
the whole thing is
me and Siakam, Pascal Siakam, Cameroon.
Yeah.
From Cameroon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he look like a future player.
Well, he might get. They're saying that he's one of the front runners for most improved player award this year. I think he deserves it. He's definitely one of the most. He's definitely on that list this season of most improved players when you look at what he did last year versus this year.
Yeah.
But repeating now with the landscape changing, you can't tell what's going to happen with Golden State probably not being at full strength the next year.
Right.
And we don't know if KD's going to come back even if they offer him a 5-year max.
Exactly, because he hasn't even said, okay, we're still waiting on the opt-out. We're still waiting on him using his player option and opting out. Same thing with Clay. So we're trying to figure out what they're going to do because there are going to be plenty of I think he asked to what they say July 29th or I can't remember what day it is, but he has till July whatever to make a decision on whether he's going to opt in or not.
Right, so he gets to meet with teams before his opt-out date,
right?
Which was genius by him, whoever set that up.
Right, exactly.
So he has something to fall back on.
Okay, Zaccheus, let's do this real quick because I'm gonna get your opinion. Yeah. We got the Knicks, we got the Nets. The Lakers have a spot for one max player, and we have the Clippers who have all cap space to sign max deals. These are the all four teams that are able to pay the most money. Who do you see? Okay, now let's put this in context because the Lakers, they made the trade. They got Anthony Davis, but they still have room for one more player. But they're gonna need a point guard now because they just traded one. They just traded their point guard. They traded their point guard of the future, which was Lonzo Ball. So now,
second time in a row,
right? Because they did it with D'Angelo Russell before that, right? Exactly. So who do you see making the most noise this summer in free agency out of those four teams?
Shoot, that's tough. Let me see. Making them. I think well for New York, I think the Knicks was with a point guard. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go with the Lakers on this one. But but for people in New York, for fans who still have hope in the Knicks,
such as myself.
Yeah, still have hope in the Knicks. I would say people gonna be they're gonna be looking closer to the Knicks, see who's gonna put as a point guard into the Knicks. That's what I think. That's gonna be a big talk right there. But for Lakers, with the trades in the Lakers, I think the Lakers gonna have the biggest though.
You're probably right in this sense because they already have LeBron and Anthony Davis, so they have stars already. So other free agents out there are saying, well, okay, you have a champion. You have two. Okay, you have a champion already in LeBron, and you have a potential champion in Anthony Davis. I mean, if Anthony Davis would have been in the right market or on the right team, he would have had a ring by now. I mean, last season he had 28 and 8. 11 boards per game. So I mean, he's been a star. You know what I'm saying? And Anthony Davis is a two-way player. You know what I mean? So now, finally, he's going to be in a big market, large market, and he's going to be playing with some help. Yes, he played with DeMarcus Cousins that one year. That didn't work out the way they wanted it to happen. But now he's playing with LeBron. There you go. Now he's playing with LeBron. So now the Lakers still have to fill up their roster because they done traded away future draft. Oh man, the Pelicans now have the number 1 draft pick and the number 4 draft pick and then they got 2 other ones I can't remember, but they could really clean up in the draft.
In the future, and some of those are future picks too.
Right after this year,
depending on what happens,
Right. The draft is this week. We'll review that next week because by the time this airs, the draft is on a Thursday.
Yes.
So this airs on a Friday, so it'll already be done with. So the draft is on the 20th. So or whatever date that is. But so look, you're right. I think you're right about the Lakers. They already made noise already with this trade. So all eyes are on them. Who has the most pressure this summer to build their team? Zaccheus. And then I'm going to give it to Cinema after that.
Ooh. Now, I could go with the Clippers, but I'm going to just... the most pressure. Well, I'm gonna just go with New York right now, man, because when it comes to pressure and it comes to people putting them down and consistently putting them down since they lost their point guard and keep continually putting them down, I'm gonna go with New York, man, because man, it's been a talk for a lot of New Yorkers, man, and people have been degrading the coach, the head coach, saying they need to get rid of the head coach. So I'm gonna go in New York on this one.
Okay, Cinema, what you think?
There was a time when New Yorkers knew basketball, and now I question that. But that's just my statement on that. Yeah. My team, who has the most pressure, is Houston, because your window's gone.
Well,
you have Harden and CP3. They're supposedly not agreeing, and there's conflict there. And those are the 2 contracts you can't move because they're too big. Who's taking Chris Paul in this free agent market this year? In this draft market?
What's up with Chris Paul? Yeah. What's up with him?
Come on.
Well, there's chemistry issues between him and
DeAndre
James
Jordan
Harden
fiasco, where they had to go to his house and Doc and all of them had to go to his house because DeAndre was leaving because of Chris Paul. A lot of people don't get along with Chris Paul. Like the one everybody likes from the Banana Boat crew is Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the rest of them don't have fans, but when Melo fell from grace, you saw people celebrating. Side note, we don't like greatness. We want them to fall, like Golden State. They want them to fall. We don't really like greatness, whatever. So I say Houston because Houston's team was supposedly built to beat Golden State and couldn't even beat an injured Golden State team.
Well,
we know how we feel about their coach. How I feel about their coach. If you follow me on social media,
Cinema, I meant you brought up. That's a valid discussion you're bringing up, but I meant out of the 4 teams that have the most money. Lakers, Clippers, Knicks, and Nets.
New York ain't doing with money. New York need to hold. Lakers, if they can't sign the guard, it's gonna be a problem. Clippers might shock the world, I think, because the Clippers team was good, and they, other than Toronto, they're the only other team that they got into Golden State when Golden State was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
They're one player away, and they're hardly not losing anybody this year. So you're talking about, okay, you could sign LeBron and Anthony Davis, but they got to learn to play together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
a lot of these teams with a new player coming in, if you're plugging in one superstar in a system that already works, they could make the biggest splash. But, you know, they're the sleepers. Knicks, everybody uses Knicks as trade collateral. Mm-hmm. And they need to stop letting people do that.
Yeah.
And because the New York press, when something leaks, they go crazy and they need to be quiet. And that's, you know, that's the normal thing with New York. Brooklyn has a better chance of attracting people. You know, Kyrie might want to go there, or LA. We got to see where Kyrie lands. Isn't Al Horford a free agent this year?
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy, whoever can get these guys, because the big guys are gone. Whoever can get these role player guys, these all-stars, still, you know, the superstars, there's only a couple out there. But whoever can get a few all-stars and the great role players out of the four, Lakers got to build the entire roster. So they might have to they might be left with leftovers because you got to build an entire roster. So if you don't hit your third star early, that money might just get spent to fill a roster. Clippers done traded away everything, and their contracts are low. You know, Lou Williams is the, biggest contract, and he's comfortable coming off the bench. So if you get somebody who start, and then with a force like him, and you have somebody else who can create their own shot, because, that team is well coached. Defensively, they're hard. They'll get into you,
Yeah. All right. We're gonna
out of that, I would say the Clippers.
The Clippers. I agree. The Clippers probably could be under the most pressure because they don't have a lottery draft pick.
Exactly.
So even if you don't sign your free, like the Knicks have the third pick.
Right. Exactly.
The Nets. Ooh, you know what? I should have looked at that before I said that. But when it comes to, I'm about to say it real quick, and then we're gonna have to wrap up the show. But look, when you look at the lottery pick, okay, numbers 1 through 14, Boston has the 14th pick. The Nets don't have a lottery. They don't have a lottery. Interesting. And
they traded it.
Right. And then the Lakers don't have their lottery picks no more because they gave it up. New Orleans has that. The Clippers, okay, I was right about what I said. The Clippers don't even have a pick in the first round.
Yeah, because of trades they've made.
They don't even have they got the second round picks. That's all they got this year. So the Clippers can't draft a prominent talent this year.
Nope.
So a lot of pressure is going to be on them in the summer as far as who to sign. I know most people, the general consensus is in the media is most of the pressure is on the Knicks. But we could draft we could still draft R.J. Barrett, who is a potential all-star, could be potential superstar. We'll see.
The whole thing is, hold on. Can I say something to that? How's the pressure on a team that fills their stadium when they suck?
Yeah. Well, you know why? The pressure is not so much on the Knicks to win a championship. The pressure is on the Knicks to at least be relevant. But what I say is, we're rebuilding. Right.
We decided to rebuild. And the whole thing is New York better get used to this because we usually do the win now stuff that everybody else is doing. And we're not.
Yeah.
Well, and so I'm not really concerned.
Right.
That's pressure from the outside.
Right.
Foreseeable. And I don't know why ESPN comes at the Knicks and TNT comes at the Knicks like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
nobody ain't saying nothing to them because all the people who they took offense with are gone.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We're gonna get up out of here. Any last thoughts on today before we close out?
Oh, nah, we good, man. I'm pretty good, man.
All right, give out your info, Zaccheus.
Yeah, you can reach me on Instagram, Zaccheus B73 on Instagram. Also, you can hit me up on Wayne Zaccheus Bacchus on Facebook, also on Twitter. Wayne Bacchus 2 on Twitter. And also you can get that streaming Let's Dance with Jesus Soca Mix by GKP radio station is available right now. Check it out on YouTube. Hot Mix, Soca Mix, Gospel Soca. What's up?
All right, Cinema.
Cinemascapes, Twitter, Cinemascapes, and Cinemascapes Music, Instagram, Cinemascapes Music, Facebook, and Cinemascapes on iTunes, Tidal, and everywhere else that quality music is sold.
That's right.
All right. Y'all can get at me at The Fifth General on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's at The Fifth General on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right, we're going to get up out of here. This wraps up another episode of The Round Circle. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.